See what the Lord has done. What the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. What we wait for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. What do you think? Can you see what the Lord has done? When you walk into that room, can you see what the Lord has done? What has come to pass? See what the Lord has done. The Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. What we waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has. See what the Lord has done. What we waited for has come to pass. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. How was our day? Good evening. How is work today? How's market? My people waiting for market. How market too? How is everything? How is work? How's our children doing? How's the family? Good evening. Good evening. Please share, share, share. Call your friend. Let them know that we've started. Thank you. Please help us to share, call a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. Today is going to be awesome. This is a program that we call Life Beyond the Church Wall, where we get to discuss things that we normally don't have much time to talk about in the church, where we get to get real with each other without being judgmental, where we are going to say it as it is. We don't talk only theory, we say the practical aspect of it. To please try to call your friend. Today is an awesome topic. Today we want to talk about how to tackling some tough questions with our kids. We can see that these kids that we are raising now, they ask too much questions. They want to know. They want to know. They want us to educate them as an adult. And so many times, people like me as well, so many times I don't have answer immediately for some questions. So please tell a friend to tell a friend. I'm giving us just 1 more minute so you can quickly call your friend and share. Help us to share on your page, on your Facebook page and groups. Help us to share the link on your WhatsApp, and God bless you as you do that. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, thank you. Today we are going to go in straight into the business. Today we are going to go straight into the business. So today I'm not alone here, and I'm so glad. Every time I'm with Bragidon, I'm always happy. I don't know, maybe because he's a man, and sometimes I love the way he do his own things. He's so real. So I like people to be so real. So today I'm not alone. I'm here with Bragidon Ogunremi. Bragidon, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you. So tonight we want to talk about tackling a tough, difficult questions, a tough topics with our kids, a tough topic with our kids. So, Brad Gideon, what is your view? Is it necessary that we should tell them or we should just know them? Because most of us, there are some things we don't have boldness to ask our parents when we are growing up. Should we let them know, or should we just ignore them, or should we just slump them, or should we just leave it as it is, or should we just shout at them? What are the tough topics that we think our kids can ask us? Thank you, sir.
Wow, that is a tough question. um, it just reminded me of growing up. There are times that I ask some questions and the answer I will get is like in my language, baby song. Like, because I'm very curious. I ask so many questions. Some out of curiosity, some out of just because someone asked me, some because I just want to know, not for any reason, just because I just want to know. And a lot of times I've been shut down. But then growing up, I got to understand why I was shut down then. But then I'm when I was young, I didn't quite understand. And it put me into there are so many things I didn't know that went through life without knowing. And sometimes it could be a blessing, but sometimes, especially based on the environment we were then, it wasn't necessary. Or where I was growing up. But now we're in a different environment. I've got my phone. My son has got his little iPad that he plays on that has got speech recognition. You know, information you want to find out, you can get it online just like that. Now, that information that you get online could be good or bad. If you have no context to it, I remember when I was studying and they asked me a question, what does protection means? And then you go on Google, what does protection means? Okay, you see one link, this one means this one, another one will have another interpretation, another will have another interpretation. But then I have this common sense to read through it. So, okay, this is what I'm actually looking for. This is what it is. I can streamline it. But that is me. What about our children? They don't have the mindsets, the filter to say, oh, this is what I'm looking for, what I'm not looking for. The information is just there for them to consume. So it is not. So there are some things that we can't do because that is how our parents did it, and that include questions. I remember when I was in school as well. One of my lecturer said something because I was doing aircraft engineering, and I was saying because when it comes to aircraft engineering, when it comes to maintenance and stuff like that, you are dealing with people's life. So he said it's better to ask stupid questions than to make stupid mistakes. And it took some time for us to kind of come to grips because we're all young people. We're young. Nobody wants to look stupid in front of everyone. Nobody wants to look stupid in front of the whole class. However, we got into the routine of asking questions that may look obvious. If you don't understand, you don't understand it. Ask. Pardon me. People will laugh at you for maybe 1 minute, but then that could save you, I don't know, for a whole life. And something you learn in that situation, something you carry with you for the rest of your life. So again, also nowadays, I was thinking back then. Some of the questions I was asking there was about sex mainly because one of my friends was asking about sex, about drinking, about cigarettes. Because one of the houses we lived when I was younger, we lived with are they youth coppers or people that are in polytechnics. So in Nigeria then when I was growing up, when I was really young then, when our parents have gone to work, we see them smoking outside over the our what's it called? We live in the upstairs, so we can see them downstairs smoking in the not is it garden? It's not garden. In our parking lot where everyone's I forgot what it's called now. Yeah, we see them there smoking, and they look cool. Yeah, in the veranda, yeah, something like that. Yeah, we see them down there. They look so cool, smoking. Then anyway, to me, and when I'm asking why is it wrong to smoke? As in, I want to smoke. Like the first thing I get them was like, God forbid, this and this, this and that. It is children of devil that smoke. It is this and this that does this. Then we will keep our mouth shut and carry on with life. And then we will try to do the thing that they used to do, then find our own mat or paper, roll it up, and start smoking in the secret. And then we try to do it from your nose because you see them doing it. Because, I mean, that's what we did as kids. Because they forbade us from doing it. They didn't tell us why. The people that are doing it are smoking it. They look cool. We want to look cool as well. My friends are doing it. Then they will teach me, and then I'll copy them and do it. And then you cough, and then you say, this thing is not good. You start watching, eyes watering. And then you run away. And then you want to say, what are you doing? No, I tried to do this one because them laddie did it. And then they will end up, what do they do? End up sparking you again. I've told you, did do that. Again, we go around in circles again. At least then it worked. But in our generation, or with our children, I don't think that kind of thing will work. Because number one, I should know, Wales has put up a law that if you see someone beating a child, call for emergency service. So beating is a no-no. And even in the environment, it's called an abuse. There are better ways of disciplining children than beating them. But the point we're trying to make is when our children ask questions, there is no such thing as stupid questions because they don't know. It is our responsibility to teach them what those questions are. And all the answers to those questions, even if we don't like it. One other question that I remember I was asking them, they used to tell us, when you want to pray, close your eyes so that the angel will not poke your eyes. And then when we now open our eyes, when we are praying, they say, where are the angels? Open your eyes, where are the angels? Or when some of our friends are opening their eyes, they say, how come they are opening their eyes, but they are not blind now? And then I open my eyes so I did not get blind. It's like we're trying to say, what you are saying is a lie, or something like that, or it's not true, or it's not, or I can get away with it. We look at this for ourselves. Or when it's raining, don't put your hands out in the rain, or else your hands will be like this. It will. Those are the things that when we ask them, they don't tell us. 1 minute, please. Okay, bro.
Yes. Hello, Daddy.
Hi. Can you go to mommy and clean your nose, please?
Okay, Daddy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
With the saucy.
Yes.
Talking there.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Sorry about that. So those are the things that they tell us then, and then we try to do it as well. I did it, but my hand did not go like this now. And then we try to, since then, whether we like it or not, we start building things now back in our mind. We start building things that, maybe there's something that it's saying that is not really, really true, but they're saying it so that we don't do it. Okay, but I will do it. I'll be careful next time. And then that leads to one thing, it leads to another, it leads to another. But in our generation, we can't do that. There is what's it called then? There is fear in those days for our parents. That's what comes from doing some things. Nowadays, there is no fear. There isn't much fear anyway for our children. So God will help us. So difficult questions, please ask. Answer them as much as you can, even if you don't understand. You can tell them, I don't know. Let's find out together. But you can tailor them to find out it in the way that you want them to go. Praise the Lord. That's just my own thoughts about difficult questions.
Thank you so much, Brad Gideon. This, what you just said, it brings a lot of memories for me growing up as well. So it's sometimes what when parents is discussing with kids, most of them are talking from experience. They don't want you to make the same mistake they made, but there are better ways to undo it, and that is why we call this tackle, how to tackle, how to undo difficult questions. Because this generation, either you like it or not, they will come for it. And we cannot tell them those parables, those I don't know how to, those poetry, I don't know what to call it, that they told us.
The folk tales.
That they told us when we are growing up. We cannot tell them. When we were growing up, there was no social media. We have, these days, even any little questions, these children will go on Google and go and search. My daughter does that a lot. Asking me, what date is Mother's Day? What is this? What is this? Before you answer, she already searched on her iPad, on her phone to see the result, and she already knows the answer. And the scripture said that we should train our child in the way they will go, so that when they grow old, they will never depart from it. So that means that whatever you put in their heart, whatever you put in their memory at this age, they go forever with it. Even the book of Deuteronomy, when he was telling them what to do, he said, this book of law shall not depart from your mouth. You shall teach them diligently to your children. You teach them in the morning, afternoon, night, every time, when they sleep, when they walk, to your children. So because you know that whatever you tell them, children, the scientists say they came with empty brain. It's you that will put the environment they are, will put something in their brain. The family they grow up from, we put something to their brain. As a parent, we put something there. The school they go to, their friends, the type of people they go out with, the things they watch on TV, we put something in their brain. The things they watch on social media, we put something to their brain. So when they ask us tough questions, if we don't listen to them, if we don't answer them to our own knowledge, like Brother Gideon just said, you just see people smoking. So they just said, son, shut up. And you just see them. You don't know why they say you should shut up. You just went to wrap the paper. I have seen a lot of people doing it. You just went to wrap the paper because you don't know. Why would I know? This is Brakunle. Brakunle is a role model. After all, he's a copper. He's graduated. And he's doing it. Nothing happened to him. So why am I? And maybe I'm looking up to Brakunle because I want to graduate as well. I want to go to university as well. I want to do this as well. I love Brakunle and I want to look like him. And one of his attitude, and this time and age, people pick mentors from social media and they want to be exactly, they want to look like that, to the extent that they will do the same hair, style, everything. But if our parents have sat us down and said, I said you should not smoke because of this, because of that, because of kidney problem, because of a lot of things around it, because it can even affect your mental illness. It's just a little explanation and not in the way they used to shout at us. It's okay because we have fear. People like me, if my parents are not strong, I don't know where I will be today. I always said it. It's not even on social media alone. Wherever I am, I always said it. If I don't have a good parent that said, no, I will not watch you going astray, I will be, but then there is fear. Even when I want to do bad things, I will be looking if there's nobody that knows my parents around. Because I know if my parents mistakenly perceive, not everything, they heard 1% of what I did, I'm in trouble. But all this thing doesn't work these days. We need to talk, and talk. Listening to them. Brock, I'm coming back. Listening to them. Listening to them. When I put down this, when I was trying to prepare, I said, look, listen, and learn. What did I mean by look? When they come to us and they bring their own so-called important question, they open up to us. We look. Is there something he or she is passing through at this moment that bring out that question? Is he or she working with someone at this moment? A lot of look. Then we listen. We don't let them say the first statement and shout it. They will swallow all the remaining ones. And they might even start from the lowest one. Maybe the highest one is still in their heart. They will not talk. And I wrote that, learn. We learn. I don't raise Samuel the way I raised Shewa. Because I learned something during the process of raising her. So all the mistakes I made when I was raising her, all the over pampering that I did. Not that I don't pamper Samuel, but there are some things now we don't carry baby 24 hours. When you carry them, they will not want to stay on their pram again. All those little things. I learned it. It wasn't easy for me during showers period because it was time while we were all, and you as well, you godfather, you spoiler as well. So it was hard for me to put shower down and say I want to do something. I have to carry out to be doing what I want to do. Then I see that it was difficult. So I learned. So I want you to put some light on book, listening, and learn when they come with those questions, sir.
That's very interesting, the way you said it, when it comes to listening. The look parts is easy for us to just, to ignore the look parts because we tend to react based on what we hear. It's natural. It's something you have to learn to look. It takes time, it takes skills, and it takes effort to do it, to look. That's why some people miss signs. When you're not looking, you miss signs, you miss symptoms, you miss opportunities. But when you are looking and when you are listening, especially listening, the listening part is the part that I find very, very difficult to do. Let me put it that way. And why did I say that? I was listening to a woman once, and she said her mom, her daughter, or was it her son, said something. One of her child said something to her once that, and she felt proud. She said, "Mommy, I love it because every time I want to talk to you, you always take time to listen to me, and I know you are listening to me. You don't do anything else, you listen to me." So that means that woman has cultivated an attitude that when a child wants to talk to her, that, "Mommy, I want to talk to you." She drops her phone, she drops everything she's doing, and she looks at the child and listens. Now, how many of us do that? Obviously, I don't do that. But I'm learning to do that. Because I'm not used to doing that. When my son is talking to me sometimes, I say, "Daddy, Mommy did or baby did this," and I drop my phone and I'm looking at him. He gets nervous that something is wrong with Daddy. Because I tried it recently because I heard it and I thought, okay, let me put it into practice. But once I put it into practice and he was talking to me and I put my phone down and I looked at him, he got nervous. I was like, and Mommy did this in school and did this, and he was starting telling me stories, and it got into it. The story was telling, and I, okay, and then I was asking him questions. So what did it? And he was excited about doing it. But before, when he's talking to me, I'm on my phone. I'm being real. I'm on my phone because I feel like, what problem do you have? You are 2-year-old. You are 3-year-old. What problem do you have that you want to ask me questions? Like, what question do you want to have that I can answer you? I can answer you why I'm using it in the toilet, when I'm on the phone, when I'm doing 14. Any question you have, I can answer you. That was my mindset. When I heard that woman say that my child said this, I felt like, wow, what would my son say? And I've realized as well that there are times when my son is trying to talk to me and he's talking to me, I'm listening to him, I'm talking to him, but because I'm not looking at him, I'm on my phone, it will push my phone away. I'm like, don't do that. I'm doing something. But then when I think about it, I'm like, well, he's right. He's talking to me. I'm not listening to him. And it feels like he wants to be listened to. And it starts so small. I mean, he's 3 years old now. He's going to be 4 soon. But if at this age, a child is picking that up and knows what it means for someone to listen to him, imagine if you develop that skills when they are young to when they grow up. How beautiful will it be when you can talk to your child and your child is actually listening to you because they know what it means to listen, because they've learned it from you. But if you don't teach them, imagine if I'm now talking to my son and he's playing with his phone when he's like a teenager, and I'm not trying. What do you mean? I'm talking to you and playing with your phone. But that's what you do now. That's what I did. But then I will feel hurt because I will feel like, I did not do that to my own parents now. But then that was what I showed him to do because that was what I did when he was talking to me. So when this listening thing, it's something I'm a practical example of it. That's why I'm using my life as an example. It's recent, and I'm learning from it. Even if it's, again, all these things like look, listen, and what's the last one you said?
Look, listen, and learn.
And learn.
Learn.
Yeah. Look, listen, and learn. You don't have to do the 3 things at the same time. You can do one at a time, or learn to do one at a time. You can learn to look first. When your child is talking, just learn to look. Look around. Why is this child asking this question? And if it's the listening one that you want to do, you can learn to listen first. I say, when my child, you can say, when my child is talking to me from now on, I will listen to them. I will drop whatever I'm doing and just listen to whatever. Even if it's nonsense, I will listen to him or her. Just try it. Do one of those. And whether you like it or not, you will learn. For example, I'm trying to learn about dinosaur from my son. I'm trying to learn about, because my son, I realize that my son loves those heavy duty vehicles like dump truck, cement mixer, tractors, road digger, road rollers, excavator. And he was talking about it, and I'm thinking, trains. Where did this boy learn about this thing? And then when I say, oh, this one being something, he said, no, it's dump truck. And then he sees that and says, it's wing body something. And I said, wing body what? So I went to Google it. I said, oh, okay, this is what it means, wing body truck. But because he couldn't say it properly, I didn't understand it. Wing body truck or something like that. I didn't understand it. He was saying wing something. He wasn't saying it well. But I got it. I learned something new. So every time we were on the road and I saw that, I see that kind of vehicle to get his interest, I said, oh, Gabriel, see, with body something. I said, oh yeah, that is good. And then he started looking for something else. It's easy to distract him with that because I've learned that is what he likes. But honestly, before I was thinking, it's just a kid. What could he be interested in that I wouldn't know? But I didn't know about all this. So when we are going in the road and we are seeing construction and there is traffic and I'm angry that, oh, this traffic people again, always doing road, always doing this. My son is busy looking at the digger, looking at the tractor, looking at the excavator, saying, excavator, daddy, is not bored. I'm bored. Normally, kids are in the car saying they are bored. Again, I'm learning. I know how to keep him quiet. I'm learning how to manage him. I know what to use to discipline him. Although that's not the way we're going to. I know what to use to discipline him. Because I know what he likes. I know what gift to buy him that I know he will appreciate. I don't just buy any gifts. I won't waste my money. You get the point I'm trying to make. You look, you learn, you listen, and as things go up, as they grow up, I'm praying that as it grows up, it continues to grow in God's grace, so that I can be able to have someone was saying that, oh, when you are a child, I forgot how to say it. She said it properly. That when your child is small, they are always looking to talk to their parent, to get attention of their parent. When they become teenagers, it is the parent that's trying to get their attention. And if you don't get their attention when they are younger, there is no chance of you getting it when they are older. So my children are still very young, so I'm imbibing it, and I'm trying so hard to use that to see how it's going to work. Because I know it will work by God's grace. That's not how my own parents brought me up, because my environment is different. But I'm going to try as much as I can to do this for my children. And it might be difficult because it's not something I'm used to, but I'm willing to learn. Praise the Lord.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It is very, very important. You know, the 3, I intentionally put the 3. I intentionally put them in order that I want us to talk about it. About looks. You know, sometimes when our children come to ask us some questions continuously, we need to watch the kind of friends they are with. As you rightly said, when they are still young, we still have a bit of, God still give us the grace. Like Yoruba people will say that I don't know the English. I'm sorry if you don't hear that Yoruba. Or they said that the fish, when you smoke the fish, when you smoke the fish before you bend it, it won't be bendable. But when you bend the fish and smoke it, it will be easy to bend. So these children, they will want to come to us. They will have questions. All those things we think is difficult questions are not difficult questions. It's just because they don't talk about it to us when we are growing up. So we don't want our own children to talk about it. They are with friends. Friends are telling them things. Friends are telling them, why can't you do this? We do it in our own house. I am sorry. I was telling you earlier, I was so shocked when the first time I hear that at age 13, they are teaching them in school to go and do family planning. And parents, go and look at them. Half of them have done it at age 13. Parents took their children. They are at age 16 in this part of the world. They have the right to go to the GP and do family planning, and their parents will not know about it. So don't think, and there are even booths. You can buy a lot of medication. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, they have it there. They don't have to come and seek your consent before they do it. But what if they've asked us? Some children are innocent at that age. They don't know what they want to do. And they saw their friend do it. Maybe they work in bubbles. They work in group of 6. And 4 out of 6 have gone to done it. And they want to ask their parents. We are a Christian family. We have rules. We have principles. We have things we do as a Christian. So they will ask. They want to ask you. They come to you and talk. Mommy, can I, why do I, mom, okay, maybe they don't even ask as a question. They say, Mommy, I want to go for family planning. A typical African woman, let's be sincere, we don't parabolate. If my daughter come to me, she hasn't got to that stage. The first thing that will come into my memory is to shut her up, is to scream. Where did you hear that question from? So if we are observant, if we see and see that, okay, this question is being discussed in school, it's being discussed amongst our peers, it's being discussed everywhere. I look at the environment, right? This is what is in vogue at our age. Then I listen. Sometimes you ask questions, you ask them questions. Why did you think you should do it? Though you want to tell them why they shouldn't do it. You ask them questions, why did you think you should do it? They will come out because, and I always say, befriend them, be their friend, give them free access to tell you anything. Let them be able to tell you anything. And they say, why did you think you shouldn't do it? Even when they were answering you, sometimes they bring out the answer. Then you yourself, if you are not sure of the right answer to give them at that particular moment, give them unnecessary assignment. Go and do research on it. My own say is no, but go and do research on it. And let's talk about it on so day when I am not working. That's when, you know, adults, we don't want to show that we don't know something, especially to our kids. And there are questions we don't know. So in case we don't want our child to know that we don't know it, just tell her to go and do research, and you want to do your own research. You won't tell them you want to do your own research. Just give them assignment. I have a lot to do. When I'm off, we will discuss about it. But please don't sweep it under the carpet. Talk to them, no matter how silly that questions look like, no matter how stupid it look like, no matter how unreasonable. Don't say, you this child, I've been taking you to church since birth, since I've done your dedication. Is this question coming out from you or from where? Aye, me, oh. There's nothing wrong with your aye. The only thing that wrong is for us to sit them down, explain, give them the biblical standard. This is a Christian family. If other people are doing it, maybe their own religion support it. Maybe this is the way they do it. Let them understand that, because, you know, I always tell my daughter, as young as she is, that, you know what, dare to be different. It's good to be different. If you want to be successful in life, you have to do a lot, to do more than what others are doing. So don't be oppressed when they tell you that, but everybody is doing it. Who is everybody? Everybody is doing it. They are not Rachel. If everybody is doing it, this is Rachel. This is what I want to do. As long as I am not going against my religion, as long as I am not going against my belief, as long as I am working towards heaven, because that is all our goals. So let's listen to them. Give them the attention. Like Bro Quest said, most of the parents are guilty. Sometimes even me, because I came back, I am tired. And you know, these children, sometimes it's when you are really, really tired, you want to rest. I understand. Don't let me judge you now. That is when they will bring that question. Sir, man, I know you are tired. But that 1 minute will not kill you. That 1 second will not kill us. Let's give them attention. Our phone, sometimes, me, I work mostly with phone because when I come back from work is when I want to see my class. My phone is my business. I want to see because sometimes at work, I don't get to respond to WhatsApp message. I don't get to respond to some text messages. I don't pick some calls because I am busy. I am working with time because of the things, school runs and others. So when I get home, after I have eaten, is when I want to attend to that thing. And I tend to forget that my children has gone to school as well. It's when they get home as well, the things that is bothering them is when they want to spill it out. It's when they want to tell us. But we are tired. I still want to reply, oh, Shewa, can you just leave me for now? No, it's a bad, I am telling myself, now I'm talking to myself as well. It's a bad attitude. Let's try to listen to them. Let's try to put the way we want them to be. Try your best to put it in their brain. So many things our parents put in our brain is what we work with our adults. We don't bring anything from heaven. The way they teach us, the standard, the culture, the principle they lay down for us, helped us. And we all now understand that, oh my goodness, this is what my parent is about to bring out in this thing. And gone are the days when we don't let our children correct us. Sometimes they ask us some questions just to correct. So I am going to the learning part of that 3 aspects. They ask us some questions just to correct us because they see that this thing has become mommy's habit, has become daddy's habit. I was reading on the social media some times ago of a child that the father is rich but never give the child a time. And the child was asking, Daddy, how much you do? And the child was saving, I think. I can't remember 100%. And the child asked, Daddy, how much you do earn per day? And the dad told the child, and the child said, yes, I have it. And he started saving towards that amount. And he gave the dad, I want to pay your 1 day off so you can have time to play with us. So definitely it's not only playing. We are talking about parents being a role model. They want to ask us questions. We know God has given us more understanding than them. Number 2, we have experience more than them. There are some things, even if it's not directly happened to us, it has happened to somebody around us. It has happened to somebody around us, and we've seen the end product. So when they come to us with some questions, they want us to learn. They want to tell us that is not the way they do it. Mommy, this is not the way we want to do it. No, Mommy, can we do it this way and it will be okay? Can you do it that way and it will be okay? So many times, my daughter will ask for something and I say, what kind of nonsense? This thing doesn't taste like. In fact, last week, he forced me to eat 1 cheese with cheese biscuit or something. I love food, but you know, sometimes I find it to be difficult to taste some new food. Even if they taste so nice, I find it difficult to put them in my mouth. So he forced me to buy that biscuit, and it was like, we turned around the shop and went back again to go and get it because I just thought, how much is it? It's £5. And it was like with cheese or something. And I love it. And I went back myself to go and buy it for myself. After she has to beg for days, I begged me to go and buy it. So she teach me something. I wouldn't have tried myself. Probably she has ate it during lunch in school or something. I ate it and I love it. So many times they want their questions, we learn from it as well. Then it helps us, especially when we have more than 1 children, to raise these children. And the Lord will help us as we do that. I want us to move forward, but let me quickly do a chat out. Thank you, everybody that is watching us. Please, if you are here, just say hello, hi, or comment so that I can be able to do shout outs to you. Thank you so much. Let me do a shout out to my very own dad, my Prince Ayo Adewusi. Thank you so much, Grandpa, for watching us. Thank you. We love you. Long life and prosperity in Jesus' name. And I want to also do a shout out to my sister, Tatayo. Thank you so much. We love you so much. Thank you for watching us. And Sister Tatayo also mentioned, when we listen to our kids, we learn and bond from them. We bond. That's where I am going. That's where Sister Tayo, you are in the spirit. Oh, that is where I was going. You know, bonding with our children. It is, how will I put it? It's going to happen that when they started growing to teenagers, they withdraw a bit from the parents because they want to stay in their rooms. They are learning to do their own things. But the relationship that you build when they are young, they will not be 100% disconnect from you, even if they are out of the house, if they started living on their own. So I was also going to that was where I was going to. I was going to the bonding aspect of it. I was going to the bonding aspect of it. And I was going to having a favorite child. How having a favorite child can help us to avoid some questions and can lead, you know, all those things we are talking about when we are talking about tough questions. When your child comes to you, like Bragidon was talking about smoking. Like if Shower comes to me now and started talking about sex, it might sound stupid, but she needs to know. Right? She has asked me silly question in the past. So, who makes Samuel? When I was pregnant, Mommy, why is your tummy big? And I said, oh, I was pregnant. He said, pregnant? Yeah. He said, Mommy, was I once in your tummy? I said, yes, you came out from my tummy. He said, who make me in your tummy? And I said, God. Because that she was asking me, I couldn't, you know, and I said, God. And he said, so God, where does baby comes from? I said, from God. Where does God live? As silly as those questions is, she's so curious. But if I didn't bond with him, with her, if I have sent her away, you know, the way she keep bringing questions out of questions. So even when I now have Samuel, she's not the one educating Samuel that, Samuel, did you know you are from God? Samuel, did you know you came from mommy's tummy? Samuel, did you know? And when we were talking, said, Samuel, when you were still in mommy's tummy, no, this picture was taken when you were still in mommy's tummy. So all those silly questions. So Brock, I want us to go to having favorite and how to bond with every one of our child, because each children bring their own different characters. Each children, they are never the same. So the way in my house I am the loudest, I think my mom was saying, Ray, blow down your voice. Your voice is too hard. It's too high. I'm trying to be posh, but I cannot. I am used to that from Kekele. So how can we handle? So people like when you have a very outspoken child that will ask you any questions, and one is so quiet, it won't even bother you. And because it won't bother you, now you choose favorite, or probably he has some things that you love in him or her. So you choose her as favorite. Mostly this thing causes rebellions within siblings. It causes rebellion. So it's like one person will ask questions. So it's only when this one asks questions that daddy always answer. It's only when Shemilori asks questions, Bragidion will answer. What about others? So please, how can we undo those two? Having favorites and funding.
Thank you. I like to use an example of a society. In the society, like we're all in this society now, we all say we're all equal. And what do we want in the society? Justice for all, right? And we all want to belong, to have equal opportunities. And I feel like the same thing in the family as well. Having favorites there's no crime in I don't think there's a crime in having favorites. But then I think there's a crime in not okay, let me explain myself properly. You can like a child more than another, maybe because the child listens to you more, or maybe because the child does this more, and then you want the other to say, see, if you do this, if you take care of if you wash my clothes or if you wash my car for me, well, I will give you money as well. If I ask you to sit down there and do this and you do it, then you can also receive this reward. So it's like this, and there will be stages in life where, for example, when Gabriel is my son, when I like him because he's doing things that I like him to do. But when he's rebellious or he does something wrong, I have to correct him. That doesn't mean I don't like him. It just means that at that time, he's not doing something that I like. But then when he sees the way I'm dealing with another child with with his sister, he'll be like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" Well, because your sister did this, or your sister is still young, or is still small. That's why I'm doing this. But I don't know if I can tell as favorite, but again, let me leave it as that. However, what I feel is more important than having favorites or not having favorites. Again, like people used to say, when you have favorites, you don't have to show every kid that you have favorites or one is a favorite, one is not a favorite. Again, the attitude will determine what that is. And whether we like it or not, there's one child that you like one or the other. Let's leave that. Let's just close that gate. But the point I'm trying to make is when our kids have done something, when our children have done something wrong, or maybe it's the one that is claims your favorite or one that make sure that when you want to do punishment or you want to correct them in an equal way, and take time to, because there's this thing we used to do. I mean, I've been in a situation where because of the way the younger brother perceives the way the father treats the sister, anytime something happens, they blame him. It was like 10 years old then, and the sister was like 6. Anytime something happens, they blame him. And they got into that mindset of, oh, everybody in this house hates me. And it was at that stage where, because of what I heard as well, I was around the place then, and something happened, and I was like, oh, why did you do that? And I was like, it wasn't even me now. And it was like shouting, everybody hates me, and it was screaming in his own shell. And I was like, okay, what happened? He said, oh, she did this, she did that, and I told her not to do it. She didn't listen to me, and then she moved that thing there, and then I told her to go away, and I pushed her, and then she started shouting that I hit her, and then everyone is shouting at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, so she's one that is pushing your button, instigating you intentionally, and I was like, that is wrong. So I had to go to her and say, what you did was wrong, that was bad, you shouldn't do that to people, because you're being what's it called? When you're I forgot what I used now. She's patronizing him, and she's been she's been conning. She was conning. She was being that. I don't want to say that, but again, she did that at that time, and he was happy the fact that I was able to stand up for him and correct the situation. Because in that situation, what normally happened was everybody around would have said, oh, why did you do that to your sister? Why did you do that to your sister? And it's got in the mindset that everybody hates me. But the fact that I was able to stand up for him at that time, I don't know why. Maybe since then, if I can call him now and say, oh, it's an older gentleman now. I call him and say, oh, where are you? Can you help me to say, oh, I'm not, but I will be there maybe tomorrow. Can we still do it tomorrow? It gives me options. Because we are closer now, that just because of that. But because before I sat down to kind of ask him the question, because I felt like, okay, it's not reasonable for someone to just be acting like this. There should be a reason. I took time to ask that question. And because the parents or some people around the house have thought it in their mind that, oh, it's always like this. Don't get me wrong, this kid can be troublesome. He can be very stubborn. He can be very stubborn. I've experienced it. That I was telling him, no, that was before this happened. And this one was like, leave him alone. He doesn't want to say sorry. Leave him alone. I'm like, he has to say sorry. I mean, I was younger then as well. Like, how can you do something to me and not say sorry? I said, I'm older than you. You have to say sorry. I'm not letting you go. No, leave him alone. Again, I'm not saying he's a saint, but everyone wants to be treated fairly. That's the point I'm trying to make. And the same thing our own children as well. My son wants to be treated fairly, whether he's my favorite or not. I don't have to let him know that. But when something is wrong and is in the right, his rights needs to be upheld. That, oh, yes, you are right. That is how it should be done. You are entitled to this. This is what you should get. I shouldn't say because, oh yeah, because you are not my favorite, then I will give it to your sister. Or yeah, no, you shouldn't do that. I hope that makes a bit of sense.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Sorry,
So,
by the way, sorry, Emma. By the way, I don't have a favorite yet because they are not in that age yet. So I don't have a favorite. So I don't know how I will deal with it yet. I'm just kind of saying based on my experience so far. Yeah.
you know, you will the time will come, that because they have different characters. If you have to be strong as a parent, and it takes the grace of God. Like when Shewa do some things I shout, if Samuel do it, as small as they are, I always call him that. Stop. We should have named you David. I don't know why we named you Samuel. Why? Because sometimes when he did something, he would start singing, "Mommy, mommy." I don't know where he composed that song. By the time he finished that song, you are mad. You are out in your mind. You will just let go. So some kids are just like that, playful, cheerful, because they have two different characters. I'm telling you, two different characters. So I just want to I just want to advise us that if we have children like that have to, no matter how stubborn we think the other is, let's listen to them. Let's try to listen to them. Because if we don't, when they come to us with small, small questions and we are not able to tell them, it might be their experience. We don't know what they are passing through every day that they come to ask the question. And by the time we don't answer them, they might landed in trouble. Because definitely this thing is their mind. They need somebody to talk to. They would definitely either talk to their friends, or think for solution on their own. And they don't know solution. What solution would they be thinking about? Something they don't know. They talk to the friend, and the friend will say, "Don't worry, let's do it this way, this way." And the friend will lead them astray. Just because we could not give them 2 minutes, 3 minutes of our time. That thing can cost us months. Then we will start praying on the mountain. God, my child, my child. All those things are majorly, most of it, if we could have give a little bit of attention when it started, we might help that child. Sometimes, if you know that this thing is happening, I'm seeing these traces, they don't want to speak to you. Our children will definitely have some. That is why you yourself watch your environment. I want my child to grow up with a Christian attitude, a Christian culture. I don't hang out with somebody that does not have belief in me, because I don't know who my child will cling to. I don't know who my child will want to talk to. And by the time they want to talk to them, if they might talk to your friend. As I am, I have somebody. I have one of my daughters that she's not my biological daughter, but if anything happens, she will send me message on her phone. Even the parents, they will talk to me, "Come and talk to your daughter," because we get along. That doesn't mean I even shout at her. We talk. But the thing is, we will sit down, talk about it. And even if she did wrong things, she feel free to open up. It's a grace that she can open up to me. We parents, when we started thinking that these children are not our own. So it's a grace for them to come and open up to us. It's a grace for them to come and ask us questions. They can decide to talk to friends. So many of us, I know some of my friends that they don't, in Africa, sometimes they go, a lady got pregnant because he dare not go home. At secondary school, you get pregnant, you are dead. It could not open to the mom, it could not open to the dad. And she was raped. It's not her fault. She's not a wayward girl. She was raped. She could not tell dad, she could not tell mom, she could not tell uncle, she could not tell auntie, because they won't listen. And I bet she might be using style to ask the parent about rape. They might be saying, "Shut up, you won't be raped in Jesus' name." We claim it by faith. Not every question we can claim by faith. I am a prayer warrior. I pray, my children pray, but there are some things that prayer alone cannot do. We need actions. We need to listen to them. And this lady went to go and talk to a friend. And the friend, I don't know the English of, I think it's something calcium. Corn. What is it called, bro? What is the English of corn? Do you know that thing?
Corn.
Broccoli, please don't worry me tonight. I'm not which one is it? I don't potassium or something. I don't know what it's called. It's called. That's it. Let's forget about it. To just go and mix it with gin. So that she can terminate the pregnancy, so that the parents will not know. They went to the market, buy it, mix it, chuck it together. She drank it and go home. She started bleeding. She couldn't even still talk to their parents when she started bleeding. She couldn't talk to the parents. She's still scared. By the time they took her to the hospital, things has gone. Before she confessed, they could not rescue her. She died at the loss of the parents. And I know the parents will be like, I hope. I don't know how they feel there because I was young myself. But now I was thinking that the parents will be blaming themselves, that they could have given this lady attention. They could have listened to her when she comes to them. They could have seen traces that something like that is happening. They could have been sensitive. They could have looked. And we should have let them be friends with us. Let them be able, even if she was raped, if she were able to speak to, if she can't speak to the friend, let her speak to somebody in the church. Let me come to our church level now. Let there be an avenue. Let there be open space where children can speak confidentiality to people in the church, and their parents will not know about it, and you will lead them to the way of God. Let us start doing that. These people, they need it. Let's every question. There's no tough question. Me, I don't see tough question. If I don't understand, I will go and do my own research. If I can't do my own research, I will lead down and pray about it. But it's good they ask us. It's good they talk about it. It's good we were able to give them questions. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. So we've talked about having favorite tribe. We've talked about banding. We've talked about look. And you know, if we are going home today, what I want us to take is look, listen, and learn. That is the best way to handle any question. Either tough, either medium, either big, either small. Look, are they experiencing something? What is happening with them? Are they at the stage that they need to learn? And you know, sex education can start at any age. Teach our boys why they should not do drugs. Not because we don't just tell them that you will get arrested and be locked in jail. It's more than that. It's more than being locked in jail. Let's let them know a lot of things. In this country, I'm not sure of other countries. If you are being arrested for drugs, you will go to jail and your CRB will be tarnished, which means you cannot do some job in your lifetime because they will keep checking your CRB. Even if you are a PhD holder, if you have professional job, you cannot work in some area. Even cleaning job now, they are not looking for CRB. Cleaning that anybody can do before. Now they are not doing CRB. So a lot of things. What are we? Why are we raising our children? Black community, we need to wake up. In prison now, 70% of people in prison are Black. It's because we want to raise our kids the way they raise us. We don't want to listen to them when they ask us questions. We shut them. We don't tell them why they could not do things. We just say, no, you can't do it. Why? What is the repercussion? What is the advantages and disadvantages? We need to open up. Don't hide it. Even some of it is our bad behaviors that we've done in the past. Tell them, I have done this in the past. This is what I take from it. The Lord will help us. Please look, listen, and learn from your children. Let them ask you. Be friend with them. Bond with them. Let them be free to ask us any question. And lastly, Brockman, let's say that, you know, now we are talking about it. Most of us we've learned. Me too, I have learned my mistake. Like now you are saying that you don't know how you will do when they both grow up. Maybe you will have favorite or not. We are learning every day as a parent. But learn to parents that have avoid answering questions from their children, and they are now having the repercussions. Like their child have have teens pregnant. Most of them, their children are in jails. Most of them, their children now have mental illness because of one drugs or the other. Most of them cannot even talk to their children. Most of these things, a lot of things are going on out there. How can we encourage them? Is there still solution? Is there still way forward from how can we undo those mistakes of the past?
This is purely based on what I've heard and what I've read, not what I've experienced. So my own opinion would be like, after, like, we all know that after a certain age, there are some attitudes that can't be corrected anymore. It only takes the grace of God. Let's be real. After a certain age for a child, there are some attitudes, there are some things that you can't change from that child. However, as a human being, as an adult, for you as a person, for me as a person, as a parent, there are some things I can do for myself to change the situation. So, for example, I can learn to start listening. So, forget about the mistake I've made in the past. Forget how old the person is. Maybe they're in jail. Maybe they're pregnant now, or maybe they already have their own child. You can start to learn to listen now. And you can start. I mean, you can start from being friends. How do you become friends with other people? How do you become friends with your colleagues at work? How do you talk to them? How do you talk to people? How do you respect other people? Is it because they are your child? No. Let's get our mind out of, because as an African myself, there's this mindset that I feel a lot of people around me have, this entitlement mindset because I'm older than you. Because I'm older than you, you have to treat me this way. If you're not treating me that way, then you have to find a way of coming down to me. So you must respect me. So, okay. Good luck. But we can learn. We can still learn to be. I don't want to say to be. But yeah, I want to say to be humble. Humble to our children. Especially when you know that you've done them wrong in the past. Yeah, and it was Jesus that said it. Is it not easier to remove the speck, the log of wood in your own eyes than to remove the speck of wood in someone else's eye? You know, if we look at it in that perspective and say, okay, what can I do as a mother? What can I do as a father to build a relationship with my son? Maybe he's rude to me. Maybe he's this to me. Okay, maybe I deserve it. Okay. Can I swallow my pride and say, I'm sorry. What do you want to tell me? How can I help you? Can I bring you something? Can we talk about this? Can we build this relationship? Can I have a relationship with my granddaughter or my grandson? No. Can I be a godparent? Can we train up your child together? Can we do this? It's very easy to destroy something. It's very easy to say, oh, a problem has occurred. Okay, that is it. No, and be angry and just explode. But it takes the grace of God to say, okay, you know what? This has happened. That has happened. How do we rescue the situation? Okay. There are times that it's going to take like swallowing my pride to say, okay, this is bad, but how can I make it better? Can I do this? Can I do that? Rather than saying, oh, a lot of the things that I feel like affects me or affect people around me or growing up is like, oh, we want to save face. What would that person think? What would that person think? I'm a pastor's son, pastor's daughter. How could you? Hey, what are we going to do about this? What have you done to me? What then do you want? What is new under the heaven? What is new? I mean, I've had this mindset since I was in college. And it was from my mom that said it was, because there's nothing that is coming from the top that the ground cannot take. And once he said it, it got me thinking. And funny enough, one of my friends, we used to say, let's try to encourage our friends. Let's try to talk to people and not talk to our friends more about some situations and stuff. But surprisingly enough, I was the person that one of my friends came to talk to. And he said the question, he goes, oh, Gideon, the last time I traveled abroad, I was in college then. The last time I traveled abroad, I had sex with one of my girlfriend, and she's pregnant for me. What do you think I should do? Should I terminate the pregnancy? Should I do this? Should I do that? Guess what came to my mind? What my mom said. There is nothing that is coming from the top that the grand cannot take. I'm like, bro, you are like maybe 21, okay? I said, look around you. And luckily, when we look around, there are kids, or not kids, but I'll call them kids, people younger than him, pushing pram down the street. So I'm saying, well, see, those are children as well, pushing pram. They didn't terminate their pregnancy. They are younger than you. So you're not too young to have a child, although it wasn't planned. But trying to destroy the destiny of a child because it's not comfortable for you, or because of what your mom will think or what your parents will think. It's not. I mean, that was my value. And that was what I told him. And guess what? Eventually, he married the girl. But if he had terminated the pregnancy by himself and did all those things, what could have happened? You never know. The girl could have lost her life, or something else could have happened. But because of my own values, I was able to tell him that. Now, although it wasn't my experience, I feel proud every time I think about it that I was able to help a friend at that time. It's something of pride, of joy for me as a person. And where did that come from? Come from my parents. Because of that one thing that she said, oh, there's nothing coming that the grand cannot take. Because what happened there, we were just discussing about things that are happening around us in the UK. And she used to tell me, Gideon, hey, be careful. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. Be careful, don't do that. And then she answered with, look, whatever it is that is happening, there's nothing that is coming that the grand cannot take. Just make sure that you can redeem the situation, whatever it is. Don't go too far into whatever you are going. And it helped me as a person. Because I was in that stage where I can understand a bit more. I can see more what's happening. So again, the point I'm trying to make is when we talk to each other, when we are in a situation that is uncomfortable, when we are there, we can always redeem the situation. And the way we redeem the situation is by, again, talking, forgetting your pride, forgetting how you feel, and saying, how does the other person feel? For a child that is pregnant, unwanted pregnancy, for example, how do you think that child is feeling at that moment? Thinking of, how am I going to tell my parents? What's going to happen? I've done this. What do you think they're going through? I'm just thinking, what do you think they're going through? For someone that has got something that has happened to them that they don't know how to get out of, or that is in a gang and is trying to get out of the gang, and is thinking, oh, they might kill me if I get out of this gang, or this might happen to me, and they're thinking, who can I talk to? How do you think they're feeling? And if they tell you something that you're first thing you do is shut them down, that, oh, no, gang is wrong, it's evil, it's this and this and that. Well, I'm already in it. How do I get out? That's my problem. And you're already shutting them down, and you're not listening. How do you think they feel? So if you're always thinking about how we feel, and not about how the other people feel, or how our children feel, or how the young people we're trying to help feel, then we are doing ourselves disservice. We are doing them disservice. We are doing the world disservice, because you could have saved their life. I mean, that's just the way I see it. I hope it helps. I hope I answered the question a little bit. I was a bit rambling around, but yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So for as many that I will use what, I don't know if it's mommy or daddy that told Gideon, but to be honest, they are so amazing parents. Before I could say that, I can vouch for them to be my parents. It takes the grace of God. It doesn't matter what you've done. And I think I feel free to tell them, even if I made a mistake, and they will correct me. So for that, I give it to them. They are so good. So well, no matter what we've done, and even if we are already in the mess, there's one scripture that is always coming to my mind when I find people that I've already find them in one way or the other, knowingly or unknowingly, and they are finding it difficult to come out and they want to talk to you. I always remember the book of Galatians chapter 6 verse 1 that say, brethren, if a man is being overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual research such, and one in the spirit of meekness, consider thyself, lest thou also be tempted. So don't judge them. As many that have find themselves in those situations, I will talk to you as a person, then I will talk to the parent of somebody that was. Don't feel condemned. No matter what, there is nothing that is coming from heaven that the ground cannot swallow, as Brockman said. So I'm using his word. It's not my word. Okay. So, and if you find yourself in it, you are looking for the exit, the way out. The way out, number one, is to pray. When you pray about it, you don't necessarily have to be doing, just say it in a word as if you are talking to someone, the way you know how to say it. Ask God to help you. Then speak to people. Speak. If you don't, thank God for this country, there are counselors, even online now. Most everybody, even in Africa now, have internet. We are using online. There are some professionals online that you can talk to, and there are some free. So you don't necessarily have to have money to receive counsels now. There are some free. There might not be a lot of free. You might think you will not get a good, a worthy counseling, but I can tell you there are still some of them that is working so well. There are some charity that are there, and parents of children that we've already pushed them out because we refuse to answer the questions that they've been asking us, and it has led to not only to us, maybe because we are busy, maybe because we want to train our generation the way we want to train our children the way they train us. It is not over yet. You can still retrace yourself. Call that child. Let them know this is what you are doing. I hear that Anthony Joshua used to fight in the street of London before he became a boxer. So if that award-winning boxer can be somebody today, he has been in jail before. If he can be, so there is nobody that cannot be close to them, even when what they do. Don't worry about what your friend will say when they hear that your child has been in jail, or your child has just got pregnant, your child has just got pregnant, or something. I'm just using those things as an example. They are your friend. They cannot make you. Sometimes I like to use my results to reply critics a lot. If don't dare me, don't tell me I cannot do anything. I will tell you I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. It's only if I don't want to do it. So don't let us listen to words of men. Be close to them. Listen to them. Talk to them. Pray for them. And you will see that when they see that my parents now show me love, that love alone will quickly take them out of that mess. That is what we don't realize, especially men. Women, sometimes it's very hard for us to abandon our child, even if they've done something wrong. But men, they don't care. They will say, the child that is good is, no, men, let's try. When you show them love, can you see now, when I was telling you not to do this, can you see what you've done has landed you? This is why I was telling you not to do this. It is not because I don't love you. It is some people, some of us, we don't learn so fast. I am not the type that learns so fast. So you have to tell me things over and over. I have to learn things over and over. I am so good in practical, but when it's come to theory, I don't just know it immediately. I can't help it. I am not ashamed to say it. So you have to tell me over. I have to listen to that thing over and over, read it over and over before I can assimilate. So talk to them. Let both of you look for a way out. Let them know what, if they can't go to counsel, ask questions. You to go to counsel. My children's CLB has been tarnished. How can I make him? Maybe he wanted to be a medical doctor and he has done something. That means the vision has been killed at that moment. But he can still become a medical doctor. Because I think that is for 10 years. If you can be good for 10 years, not going to jail, not having any tarnished thing, he can still become it. But he has to show himself that I am now ready to live a good life. And the Lord will help us. And I pray for us that Brockman will still round up. Brockman.
I have a question. Okay. My question is, you alluded to it earlier on. Why is it that parents are okay to make mistakes, but they tend to tell children, "Oh, I don't want you to make this mistake." I don't, they're trying. It's like they're trying to protect us or young children from making mistakes, but they've made mistakes. Why? Someone asked me this question, so that's why I'm asking it as well. Why can't parents let children or people like young people make their own mistakes as well and learn from it? Since they've learned from their own mistakes as well, so why is it difficult to let children learn from their own mistakes as well?
Thank you, sir, for that question. It is, it is good. Making a mistake is a learning process. But there are some mistakes that we have made so that our children will not make that same mistake. Because we've got the experience. Why will I not learn from somebody's experience? Why do I want to learn from my own experience? Why will I want to learn from terrible experience? Thank goodness.
Sorry. And this is mainly in terms of relationship and drinking.
Okay. Right. I am not a drunkard, but I have seen people that drink. Most of people that are drunkards or smokers in this country, you see that they get so addicted. Some of them, I have some of my colleagues, my friends, they are not even Africans, that they wanted to stop, but because they are addicted to it, they cannot help. So many of them that wanted to stop, so many of them have had kidneys problem, a lot of issue with that. So many of them have been drunk and they've taken their children away from them, and they can't help it because of so many of them are traumatized. So they could not stop. So they wanted to try all they could when they have the opportunity. Deep inside them, they want to change, but this is who they've become. They cannot help it. So they want to help their children not to make their own mistakes. I have experience in Spencer Road when I used to live in Spencer Road. I think in 2014 or something. Something happened to a guy. He was drunk. And he was going home at midnight. He went to his girlfriend's house. He couldn't go through the door because he was drunk. He wanted to go through the window. So he used his hand to break the window and he fell back. Because he was drunk, he was bleeding and he died. He bled to die. He didn't break the window in the front so that people can see. It was at the back of the house. And the girlfriend was not in the house. And he did that purposely because he was drunk. That was a mistake on his own side, if you want to see. And I can bet you that girlfriend that experienced that will never want her child, or else something is wrong with her as well, will never want her child to drink. So there are some mistakes. It's good to make mistakes, but there are some costly mistakes that we as a parent has made that we don't want our children to make. So it's good for children to make minor mistakes. When they say that in relationship, you should watch out. Some destiny has been ruined because of the wife and the husband they married. We are now seeing husband killing wife. We are seeing wife killing husband now in deep sleep, just because of minor issue that we could talk about. So when people are saying don't do this experience, it's good to make mistakes that will not cost us. But when there are mistakes, I like Yoruba will say that that when you have cloth like elder, you cannot have rags like elder. So the experience they are telling us not to do it is because of their experience. That's my own view to that, sir. I don't know, maybe that's okay with you.
Thank you, ma. Yeah, that's okay, ma.
So is there any question for me? Thank you so much. So I want you to round up. I want you to round it up for us for tonight. We'll be coming back again next Monday. We'll be coming back again next Monday with another topic. So, bro, please, your round up words, sir.
Oh, thank you. So, rounding up, I think what I've learned today as well is to look, listen, and learn. No, I need to look out for signs when my child is asking questions. I need to listen, learn to drop your phones and concentrate on your child. It is back in Africa that when you are correcting a child or you are talking to a child, they say, don't look at me in the eyes. Here, look in the eyes. Let them engage, be engaging. And, learn. If you don't know something, it's not a shame to say, I don't know. But if you want to say you don't want to say you don't know, then say, let's go and research it together. Let's go and learn through it together. It's not a crime. And also, when you feel like your children have gone through the stage where you feel like they can listen to you, or where you feel like they can't, they've gone through the stage where you can work on yourself and learn to listen to them as well. If you feel like they're not going to listen, then you learn to listen. You be the bigger person, be the one that leads the way, and and then pray, and God will help us. I mean, because I'm a Christian, so I believe prayer answers. Prayer is a key. It does wonders. It helps, even if it means giving you wisdom, praying for ideas on how to do things. It's beyond your understanding, because there are so many things, challenges in life that are beyond our ability. We're just talking theory, but there are so many things that theory can't deal with. There are so many things that situations that we can't exhaust. However, you going through it, God can give you an idea on how to deal with it better. And how do you get those ideas? Through prayers. So I pray that God help me to be a better parent. Amen.
Thank you so much, sir. So when we are go with look, learn, and listen. Also, I want to employ older parents as well to help younger parents as well. So we work as a community. You've had experience. Don't be ashamed to say it out. Let us learn from it instead of us making our own mistake. And the Lord will help us. Prayer is the key. So when you combine prayer with action, it makes it to work fast. Please pray. You're shouting, you're talking, you're listening alone cannot help your child. You need to speak in tongue on that child. Sometimes our parents, they go extra mile. Yes, speak in tongue on that child. Direct them in the spirit. Direct the spirit of God to them in the spirit. So when they're even trying to be adding to, when they ask you difficult questions, when they want to walk in the way you don't want them to walk, call their spirit, touch your womb, you carry them. Call their spirit at midnight, call it during the day, direct them through the spirit. So by the time you all wake up, you tell them at once. God will help us in Jesus' name. So thank you so much for watching us. We really appreciate your time and your data. Next week, we will still be here. And please help us to share this place. Tell your friend to tell your friend. Please, we want people to hear this lesson. Sometimes I went to re-listen to it and I see this is so rich that so many of us need to listen to. Please tell your friend we'll be here every Monday, 7:30 UK time, 8:30 Nigeria time, every Monday. And the Lord will bless us and the Lord will strengthen all of us as well. So we'll be able to be here in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much. Thank you. We love you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Worry when has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. See what the Lord has done. What we waited for has come to pass. See what the Lord has done.